very good morning, children. How are you all? So today we are going to see the adaptations in the animals. So yesterday we have seen the adaptations in the plants and all, and we have seen different plants and their adaptations. So today we are going to see the adaptations in the animals. I hope you have watched the video completely and also you understood the points which we discussed in the previous video. So today there will be a kind of disturbance in the video because there is a demolition going on here. They are collapsing a building. So from yesterday afternoon the process is on. So hardly they started night 11. So there will be a kind of disturbance. So kindly bear with the disturbance. Okay. So we should go into the lesson. So children, in the lower classes, in the 8th class, you have learned about the different ecosystems, right? So there are land ecosystems. Okay, there is water ecosystem, which you called as aquatic ecosystem. Then there is forest ecosystem. Then there is desert ecosystem. Okay, so in the forest also you have seen two different kinds of ecosystem, right? One is the freshwater ecosystem and second one is the marine water ecosystem. So in all these ecosystems, right, these are the different areas where the animals live, right? So these two you can have the similar kind of conditions except one or two. Other than that, if you see these 4 different ecosystems, they are completely different from the one another. Okay, so now here the animals which are living in those areas, they should make their body suitable to that particular environment. In the other ways, we can say that they have to adapt to that particular environment. So if they're not able to adapt to that environment, they will die. So that's the only, for their survival, what they have to do is they have to adapt to that particular environment. So all the animals, they strive and they bring new changes in their body so that they can adapt to the new environment. So that is what we have seen in the plants also. Now when you come to the animals also, they have some adaptations like this. Even the animals also undergo some kind of adaptations like this. Now, especially when you talk about the camel. So children, now we'll see some of the examples of the animals which usually travel, which usually adapt themselves to the environments. Already we have seen different kinds of ecosystems in which the animals try to adjust themselves. So first of all we'll talk about the camel. So camel, it has a hump, right? It has a hump. So the camel, usually what it will do is, now it has 2 humps like this. So this hump, it usually stores the fat. It stores the fat because these animals are the animals which usually move in the desert conditions where they have to travel a long ways in the deserts and all. So as they keep on traveling in the deserts and all, what happens here is there will be a very great scarcity of water. So the animals will not get proper water and all. So that's why, and that's the reason why what it will do is whenever it gets some water, it will drink around 100 liters of water at a time. These animals are able to drink around 100 liters of water at a time, and now they will not store the water. So many people feel that they will store the water in the hump. No, they will store the fat in the water. So this animal, what it does is, even though there is no water in that, and if it has to travel a long way, then it will use this fat. It will use this fat, and it will convert them into. It will break down them into water, and also the animal also can live a very long time without eating food and gets the complete food material from the hump. So this hump is served as a kind of storage of fat here. So now if the animal will, it will, if it is hungry for a long time, if it doesn't eat food for a long time, basically you can see that this hump which is like this, it will keep on shrinking like this. So it will come to a small size. So that is how the camels will keep on moving in the deserts. And moreover, they have also developed some kind of there is a empty space in between the food here. So here this particular food which is empty here, which is a bit deep, that will not allow the food to sink into the sand. It will not sink into the sand. That is how they save themselves from sinking into the sand. So because this is a desert animal, it needs such kind of adaptations. If it is a terrestrial animal, no, it doesn't need that kind of adaptations and all, because it is a terrestrial animal. Because it is a desert living animal, it requires what? This kind of adaptations. And next is, these animals will have long eyelashes. Camels usually will have the long eyelashes, so that these eyelashes will protect it from the sand. Whenever, because they have to walk in the sand, they, the sand may come and fall in the eyes, and also these eyelashes will save the animals from the sand. And moreover, if you have seen the legs of the camel and all, they are very, very, very tall, very, very big legs and all. So the feet are very huge and tall. So why? Because these legs will keep the body away from the sun, away from the heat which comes out from the desert region. So the sand is very, very hot here. So this particular legs will keep this body away from the hot sand. So that is how the different kinds of adaptations have been, you can see in the camels. And second one, and the last one, what you can also see here, the nostrils. Okay, the nostrils of this particular camel, will keep on closing, in a regular intervals. They keep closing on regular intervals, because whenever there is a sand, when there is a sandstorms, or if there is a blow, when the sun blows because of the air and the wind, so this will get into the noses of the camel. So the noses itself closes involuntarily whenever there is some kind of blowing of the sand. So like this, see these many adaptations, you can see only in the camel. Camel, because it is a desert animal, it should adapt its body to live in it, because these adaptations are they are not at all required if it has to come to a land ecosystem, right? So terrestrial ecosystem, these kind of changes are not at all necessary. But whereas only because it is living in the desert region, what it needs is, it needs a different kinds of adaptation. That is how they adapted their body also. In such a way, in the same way, there is a snake which is called as the sidewinder snake. So this sidewinder snake, usually the snake will crawl like this, right? It will crawl like this. But whereas the sidewinder snake, to escape from the heat, it crawls on one side of the body like this, so that it will not allow the body to touch the ground completely. It will not press the body completely to the ground. So it will try to save its body from. So instead of moving like this, it will move like this. So whole body will not be able to touch to the desert, to the hot sand. So that is how it is their kind of adaptation, to move in such a way that body, it will not make the body touch the. It will press the ground. It will only press the one side of the body to touch the ground, not the whole body like this. So that is how they will escape the heat of the sand. Okay, and the second one, that is the golden mole. Now, if this is the surface of the desert region, so what they will do is, they will basically move below the surface of the sand, because if you go to a bit deep into the sand, it will be a bit cool rather than the hot surface. So they will dive into the sand, and then they will keep on moving under the sand, so that they also escape the hotness of the upper layers of the sand. So this is how their adaptations are. These kind of adaptations you can see in the golden mole. And third one is the kangaroo rat. So this kangaroo rat, it will not drink water for its lifetime. In its lifetime, it will not drink the water. So whatever the water, whenever it eats the food and all, so what is the water which comes out from that, they will only survive with that water, little amount of water which is produced during the digestion. So the water which is produced in digestion, only that water is used by the rat, so that it can survive for a long time. So in its lifetime, it's a complete lifetime, they will never drink the water. So that is the point about the kangaroo rat. Okay, because little water is synthesized during the process of digestion, and that is how they will save their body from scarcity of water. So without water also, they can survive for a very, very long time. Next is the sand grouse. The sand grouse is a bird. It's a desert bird. It's a desert bird. So what this desert bird do is they will fly in the air. They will fly in the air. Okay, whenever it has to bring water to its children, they will go to oasis. Oasis is a place like where you can find the water. So they will go to the place where there is oasis, and what they will do is they will drink the water. At the same time, they will carry the water in its crop. Crop in the sense nothing but the stomach here. The end point of the esophagus is called as the stomach. So this is the mouth. The mouth, it enters into the digestive system through the tube-like structure which is called as the esophagus, and the end of the esophagus is called as the crop. So they will try to carry some water in the crop, okay, in its crop in the end of the esophagus or the stomach, at the beginning of the stomach, and then they will carry them to the babies and give the water to them. So that is their kind of adaptation. And next comes the phoenix fox. Phoenix fox. So this phoenix fox, the soles, now this is a foot, okay, this is a feet and all. So this is completely furry. This is completely filled with the fur. Completely filled with the fur, and that is how whenever they walk on the sand, so they will not feel the heat of the sand. Moreover, if they feel the heat of the sand, they will remove the heat through their ears. From the ears, as we remove the heat from our skin, the same way they remove the heat from the ears. So that is how their adaptations you can see here. Then next is this sand diving lizard. Sand diving lizard. Okay, so whenever the sand becomes too hot to handle, they will keep their two legs upside. They'll keep their two legs in the air. So they will put their feet in the air so that they can cool down. So see here, children, these many animals we have seen as an examples, right? So how they are adapting themselves to the environment. So because these characters were not there before, but they developed those characters. They develop those characters so that they can survive in the extreme conditions. So that is how you can say these animals are adapting themselves to the desert ecosystem. Okay, children, so this is about the desert ecosystem, and tomorrow we'll study the aquatic ecosystem and how animals are adapted themselves to the aquatic ecosystem. Okay, children, so tomorrow is a very, very important class, so all of you stay tuned. Okay, children, until then, have a great day. God bless you.